Chai sound. Okay, it's very good.
And the last of the Chelsea piers is a golf driving range. This pier with all the hanging wire. Again, about 15 years ago, when they decided they'd take an old shipping pier, turn it into a golf driving range, we thought they were... That's where Titanic was due in April of 1912. Never made it. Greenwich Village on past that. But when you see it, the airplane that hit the first tower, tower number 1, was flying same direction we are now, flew 10 floors over the top of number 7. It appears as though they were using that building to line up how high they wanted to hit the other tower. And we'll talk about the explosions and what happened to the people in Tower 7, but everybody lived. We're coming to a curving sill is coming into view behind and to the right of it. It is a darker silver rectangular building with lighter broad strips across the top. It's down the street off the front of the ship on the left. And you might see some of the steelwork going up on one of the new towers. The south side of Tower 7, that would be around the corner, the direction of our travel, is the part of the building that was just decimated with the explosions, but we'll talk about that in a moment. Here comes the open spaces for Towers 1 and 2. There's some white ships in the marina up ahead left. If you come this side of them, there is a small, curving, dark glass building, actually in between the lighter trees and behind a couple of vertical posts. There's a black rectangle in the background. The space this side of the black rectangle and behind the little curving building, that is the space taken with Tower 1 of World Trade, 110 floors in height and more than twice as tall as any building we see here. Now some cranes come into view just to the left of the area, and now the orange construction sliding into view. In front of that, that's the location. Now Tower 2, downriver, over the top of the last big white boat in the marina, over the top of the flags. More cranes in front of the tall black rectangular building. Big white one with a yellow tip. You see some red ones there as well. They are working on the Tower 2 location. So those locations should be pretty well marked for you now with the cranes. And now at Tower 1 location, the Woolworth building is going to come into view in the background, the tall, pretty white building with the pale green triangular roof. The south windows in your building are pretty much gone with the impact, the concussion. Number of planes coming or heard a plane and called other folks to come over and watch. That would take them to the far side of the building away from impact. And Tower 7 is one city block wide. Number of broken bones, lots of cuts and bruises, cuts with flying glass, but everyone survived. An hour into the attack, Tower 7 was certified to be empty, and by now it had caught on fire from the explosions across the street. Now there's a decision to make. Police and fire departments, 400 of their personnel are gone. They have died in the collapse of the Twin Towers. The only people who are certified to help you and available to help you are in an empty building fighting a fire that's broken out. The decision was empty out all the fire and police personnel from Tower 7. Let it burn. Try to save some lives. The tower came down about 7 hours after the twins. Very little public notice. It's on the mainland, receiving passengers into the country. Ellis, an island coming up on the right. 5 big ones, rather 5 new ones are coming in. 2 fewer, simply because of the memorial gardens going up there. Now there's a single big tower being built, and again we'll take a look at the steelwork of it in a few moments. But if you're down here taking a look, no better place to view what's going on than in the small curving dark glass building called the Winter Garden. Lots of shops and restaurants, but a very high elevation as well. Good look into what's happening. And we'll look down the street after we pass this wind white canopy. Take a look at the steelwork that's rising. Off forward buildings of Tribeca, short for the triangle below Canal Street. Empire State's up about 60 degrees to the right. That is Chrysler to the right of it. To the right, smaller Silver Spire over on the east side. And behind Tribeca, Soho. And there's a last mission of the carrier was a recovery vessel in the early space programs of the country where the astronauts parachuted into the water. Recovery vessel here was Intrepid. And again, as part of a big museum on the history of sea, air, and space, Concorde is a neat airplane to go into. And as we clear Concorde, there's a third section of the museum. It's a submarine. It's the first missile-carrying submarine of the U.S. Navy from 1957. One of their missiles is on deck. It looks like a fat cigar with swept-back wings. And that's the Regulus missile. All 3 of those part of the museum.
These 2 guys next to him control the planes, those fins on the side of the boat, so basically 2 guys to take the boat up and down. And of course this is just how this is primitive compared to what they do today. Some modern day submarines, you only have 1 pilot. Just 1 guy drives the boat and he uses a joystick.
You can sit down here as well.
Even a load of pipes.
No.
Just drop yourself in, just a little while.
I can't hold it, it's going down.
Then on the floor, you see